the KaiserOst series with the big war with the Unifists expanding. This war expands even more. But let's see what goes on in the meanwhile. The war starts going really bad, as it turns completely in the favor of the red team. With Bulgaria making an advance, a cut right across with the Hungarians about to take out Yugoslavia with the Bulgarians, the Germans moving into Italy, and as you can see, Greece starts falling as Iranian troops arrive with Bulgaria. As these areas surrender, what was Yugoslavia is now out of the war. Germany is now invading Benelux, with a stalemate along the French border. Americans are starting to get not like this war, but they might not be able to win. And they quickly move into this area, with them collapsing. Saudi Arabia of Italy begins. As Italy starts having trouble, as in the north, the Unifist forces start pushing them south, with France managing to move troops into extreme southern and Britain. But France didn't realize Germany was planning a deeper invasion in the north. They fail to make it to Paris because they have too many troops down in Italy. But this leads to France having to withdraw these troops to reset the stalemate, as that leads to the fall of Italy. And now France is fighting on two fronts, which turn to one as these two fronts meet. Now Paris gets encircled and taken, and they start moving into British, north of France, I guess. British territories in France. With them managing to hold southern France, but with a Spanish Unifist revolt breaking out, which leads to Britain having to, this is a bit of a mess. Leads to cut of supply lines, leads to the fall of France, followed by the fall of Catalonia, followed by the fall of the Basque region, which this puts them in a really good spot, with them planning to get ready for, when they end up at war with the rest of in case they end up at war with everyone else. With them moving into Portugal, the Unifist thing, probably creating a puppet, or they would make Iberia, Unifist Iberia. And they march into the Palestine area, with this being enough to infuriate the American world order that has been being achieved. This is a big deal, but they're not ready yet. Algeria quickly gets ready. And why would Algeria get ready? Because they have an opportunity to gain lands. So Algeria joins, which leads to the quick capitulation of Algeria. Iran gets ready for war in East Africa. And Spain, which was re-liberated, finally has its military back together, and this allows the fall of the country. And Finland is very weak and barely together with its people because it's so lost. But its people are supporting this war just because they know they can gain out of it. With Russia and Germany deciding to jointly invade Sweden, with Germany having goals of capturing as much of the south as it can. And it really needs to fix its borders, if I'm being honest, if it wins. And World War V has broke out. It's only a matter of time till more countries join. With, them viewing they could take over Nigeria and increase their strength if they do that, with North Libya trying to unify South Libya. And Nigeria is really weak in this timeline still, because they didn't really build up their military, so they're now crumbling. As the new African Union is being created. Nobody else joins for now in this region. India finally successfully lands in Australia, in the western part of the country, and quickly occupies this. With an attempt to repel them by Australia being a failure, just because it was so strong. But they did manage to take some of the parts that aren't needed, but the coast stays strong. With Egypt being promised parts of Sudan in the case of victory and parts of Palestine. So they join as Iran's troops start getting in the country. They decide to invade, well, the last country they probably can right now. And well, they start moving in. But Iran doesn't see it as fast enough. So Iran starts helping. Quickly, Khartoum falls. But now, let's look at the war in Ethiopia, with them managing to take a landing of what would be Djibouti in our timeline, and take the coast, with them marching in and quickly taking Addis. And well, this isn't good. With Sudan collapsing, and well, they use this to invade. And well, Ethiopia crumbles. Well, realistically, this isn't good. Because I'm not going to surrender this East Africa. But their coast falls. And well, at this point, once they're cut in half, they're kind of unable to fight back, so they end up capitulating. Can these nations win? Or will they lose? Mexico sees possible lands as a reason to join, but decide not to join yet, just because it would be a big risk. With the Svalbard Islands falling. With them deciding not to invade this alliance yet, save that for if they win. Germany and Hungary. Hungary's trying to take back its former territories in this series. Germany wants to annex this. Bulgaria wants to take back its former territories. Ukraine is not going to exist. Russia wants to expand. And Spain wants to form Iberia, with Algeria having joined the game line. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, and until you subscribe. Bye, guys!